and I am acting mayor, so I will be chairing this meeting. First we have a delegation. Ted Urick, Parks Planning, Research and Design Manager for the City of Surrey.
Thank you very much. Madam Mayor, members of Council, thanks for the opportunity to present the management plan for Fergus Watershed. It's a very unique park and biodiversity preserve. It manifests the biodiversity conservation strategy that was adopted by Council last year. It's going to be a fantastic jewel in Surrey's crown of biodiversity. So Fergus is located in South Surrey. It is between 168th Street and Highway 99. The main stem of Fergus Creek passes through the south, and then there are tributaries that run north and northwest through the park. It formerly was farmland, and as such was grazed by cattle, and so there was quite a bit of degradation both to the stream and to other habitat areas within the site. The Highway 99 corridor plan envisioned this as a compensation area for development upstream that would rehabilitate this area and return Fergus to its former glory. We've been working with a stakeholder group, and in conjunction with them, we'd like to propose a new name for the area, and that is Fergus Watershed Biodiversity Preserve Park. This is in special recognition of its place within the biodiversity conservation strategy and to exhibit to the rest of the region that Surrey is leading the way in biodiversity preservation. Our process began in 2011 when we acquired the last large parcel of the park. There are some small properties that we still need to acquire, but the majority has been acquired. We started with background environmental studies. We also held 2 open houses in 2013. What we learned from those open houses was that there was a very important place for Fergus within the environmental community and within the city for Fergus, and that this couldn't be your standard park within the city of Surrey. So since the second open house, we met up with and created an ad hoc stakeholder committee, meeting with many members throughout the city, including Surrey Environmental Partners and Little Camel Watershed Society, and others, Arosha and Semiahmoo First Nation. So working together, we've re-envisioned this park with a focus on ecosystem rehabilitation, biodiversity, and habitat types. As we've been working through this process over the last 2 years, we've changed the focus to environmental preservation enhancement and removed a lot of the active amenities that were originally proposed. And from that, we've created a management plan, and that management plan creates separate management units within the park. These will all be replanted and managed in different ways, and what's unique about having a management plan like this is that you're planning for the future, and that can be a very long time frame for both replanting and maintenance, and making sure that all the different types of habitat that we want to create are able to be viable for the long term. So within those 8 management units, 3 will be open to public access. It's important for us to have a looping trail network through this park so that we can construct the new habitat types and areas and maintain them, as I said, for the long term. And then there will be limited public access along that path so that people can learn more about Fergus and its important role in biodiversity. As I mentioned, Fergus was envisioned as compensation for upstream development in north towards Highway 99. So that will continue. This is just some photos of a project that's already completed down near the main stem of Fergus. So those habitat compensation projects will continue. And we also have special consideration for habitat for Pacific water shrew, which was identified by Environment Canada as sensitive habitat in this area. A big development for us in this park is that it will be designated as a no dogs area. That will be regulated through the bylaws, and signed and education signage will be installed in the park. It's very important that dogs not be in this area because of all the sensitive habitats that we're trying to recreate. We are planning alternative dog off-leash sites in the Grandview area so that when bylaws is on-site actively enforcing this no dogs rule, that they have an alternate site to point people to. We also, following this presentation, we would like to embark on creating a dedication bylaw. Similar to Mound Farm, Crescent Park, this would be an enhanced level of protection for Fergus in the long term, and that bylaw would come back to Council for your consideration. So, following this presentation, we'll be working on that draft park dedication bylaw. We'd continue to work with the development committee on the habitat compensation projects. We'd complete detailed design and then start installing the park improvements as envisioned in the management plan. And I'd just like to thank you for the time. What is very important, as I mentioned, about Fergus is that it is a manifestation of the biodiversity conservation strategy and a fantastic new addition to Surrey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We do have a question from Mayor Hippner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Orwick. Can you tell me how big, what is the size of this park?
Currently it's at about 68 acres.
68?
Yes,
acres?
68 acres, which is
okay.
A very large size. There are some additional parcels that we do need to pick up in the future to add to that park.
And that will ultimately then bring it to what?
So within the Highway 99 land use plan, there was a statement that 100 acres approximately would be preserved for habitat throughout that land use area, and including Fergus, so in the range of 100 acres.
Okay, thank you. And I'm just wondering if you could find another word to put in for the park so that the name of it could be just slightly longer.
It is, I think it'll be abbreviated to Fergus. Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Lafranc.
What a great presentation and really amazing project. I'm wondering if you've thought a little bit about, I'm a huge dog lover, but I know that the on-leash or off-leash, it's really difficult to monitor and patrol, and we find in other parks that dogs are brought into the parks in sensitive areas. Do you know how you're going to monitor that?
Yeah, thank you. Through the chair, it is something that in parks we deal with frequently, and we've already met with Kim from Bylaws that we would like to have an education program before the park even opens. We want to talk to dog walk groups, that sort of thing, again, before the park opens, and then have a very active campaign as the park opens so that right from day one people understand, and it's very important to have those alternative sites for Bylaws to be able to point to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hain.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Ted, congratulations to you and your staff and all the work that you've done on this, because it's been an incredible amount of work, an incredible amount of consultation with the community. I see some of the community is here with us today, like Surrey Environmental Partners and so on. And usually when we talk about our parks, we're talking about active parks, we're talking about sports fields and so on. And this is such an important component to our park system in the city, and as you pointed out, to our biodiversity conservation strategy. So this is a great day, and I just want to say congratulations to staff and to the community who has worked so hard to contribute and lend their support and lend their expertise to getting this right. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Seeing no more speakers, I just want to close by thanking you as well. This is a great job, a lot of people involved, and we're really proud of what you've done, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jamie Bone, Manager Transportation.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. So despite the polls you may have seen, I'm quite thrilled to be here, to be able to tell you an update on the advocacy efforts that we've been undertaking with respect to the referendum. We are actually seeing a lot of positive indications. We've been reaching out to many residents throughout the city, and we are actually seeing a lot of positive response when we get that education material out to them and they get a full understanding of the referendum. So I'm basically going to go through our advocacy efforts, a little discussion about the Elections VC role and what will be coming forward beyond that. So questions often arise as to why the city is advocating for the referendum. As you know, there's enormous benefits to the city, to our citizens, with a potential successful referendum. And really the key for us is educating the public what is involved in the plan, what are the benefits to them, and why they should therefore vote yes. And we think it's very clear once they have the full information. When we do talk to people, there's a general acknowledgement there is a need for improved transit. So that part is clear. But when we speak to people, there's many that don't realize or fully understand. Of the 1 million people that will be coming to the region over the next 30 years, 330,000 of those are going to be in Surrey, along with 160,000 jobs. So that means significant need here. The plan addresses that. 45% of the improvements, the projects within that plan, will be directly benefiting the city of Surrey, $3.5 billion. So not surprisingly, there's broad local support from businesses, the Surrey Board of Trade, BIAs, the students at the various universities, even the Fraser Health medical officers. As well, I was actually at the Board of Trade meeting where Minister Stone was talking about the 10-year provincial plan, and he very clearly said, we have our 1/3 share funding available for for rapid transit and for the Patillo Bridge. All we are waiting for is a yes vote for the local share, and we will be there with our money. So it's very clear this is a critical vote, and concerns about the money not being available from the senior government are not going to be correct. That money will be available if we can be successful. So other things people aren't aware about is, so for Surrey, if this goes forward, we're going to get the bus transit that we need out to places like Clayton, Grandview Heights. 56% of our residents will be within walking distance of bus service that you don't even need to check a schedule because it is so frequent. 72% of jobs will be within that walking distance. So incredible improvements. Of course, the LRT line that you're very familiar with, down Fraser Highway, King George 104, again, will transform the city and is critical for us in moving forward, both economically successful and in a livability perspective. It's not only transit, of course, road improvements, Patillo Bridge, cycling improvements, pedestrian improvements. The plan covers all of the needs of the residents of Surrey and of the region. So before I tell you about how we are getting message out and speaking with the people, I wanted to just make sure you were aware of the great support that we are receiving from members of the staff. There's over 35 people from the city that have been volunteering time to help out, to get the message out. From Parks, Planning and Development, Mayor's Office, Economic Development, and of course Engineering, all helping out because they're all believing in this effort. So that's been fantastic for us. I also want to thank all of you because I know you've had significant roles throughout this process and will continue to as we carry on in this effort. So in terms of social media and communications, we have a web page and we have been continually updating that and seeing a steady increase in visits to that, which has been very promising. In terms of social media, our Twitter ads, for example, have reached an average of 21,760 people with each ad we've put out on that. On LinkedIn, the one ad reached nearly 110,000 impressions. So significant. The social media is a critical element of this, definitely reaching a lot of people. course, we also have to go the more typical approach of print advertising. I'll show you some of the examples of that in a moment. We've been doing transit shelter ads, digital media ads, infograph mailer, so hopefully you have received those as well. Certainly I did receive. It's a brochure that clarifies all of the benefits of the Mayor's plan and the process. We've also done radio ads on Red FM and Spice. And Street Teams, which is a collaboration with the Central Campaign, have distributed already 5,000 of those brochures to people and have had numerous discussions with various people, and again seeing very positive feedback as they get clarity to various residents they speak with. So this just goes to the example of the Surrey Wrap, which had a front cover page of the leader, as well as the next page illustrated all of the benefits of the plan. Digital media signs, so we have free advertising on digital media signs, a certain number of those, so we've been making use of that again to get the message out, clarify things like the Patolo Bridge, the benefits of that to drivers. Now this plan benefits everybody, not just transit users. Transit shelter ads, we got a special rate on those as well, and so we've had 56 different bus shelters with ads that we have been changing up for the different months. Again, that receives significant number of people see those. In terms of advocacy, and this has been quite substantial and is very impactful as well. You'll be, of course, familiar with a number of these because you're heavily involved in these high-profile events. So one was the Commuter Blitz at 64th Avenue in Clayton, where Mayor, Council, and a number of staff and other people from the community joined in, as well as the Surrey Central session, where you can see a picture of Mayor Hepner talking with one of the transit users there. We also had Surrey Fire Department and the Vancouver Police Department media event at which Mayor Robertson and Councillor Steele attended. Again, that got significant media attention. We've had Kwantlen Student Association and Alliance of BC Student events, and really the students are stepping up. I've also seen, I think you've been shared, they've done an a cappella video, which was, I thought, amazing, very neat, and a lot of other initiatives that they are doing to really help get out the student vote, which we think is critical. There were 2 telephone town halls so far, one of which, the last one, which Councillor Gill was in, got 12,000 callers. The prior one with Mayor Hepner got 8,000, so we're seeing an increase in interest, as you can tell, as we move forward. There's another couple of those still planned. So really, through all of this, what we are finding is that as people get the information, get an understanding of what this means to them, we're getting a positive response. Hence my opening comments of feeling very positive that we're making great strides towards success. Just a few other things that we have been doing in Central City Mall. Again, we had city staff volunteer to go over there, spoke with over 3,000 people, so we may do that again. Again, a lot of people coming up with questions, uncertainty, just not knowing all of the facts, and that personal touch really clarifies and helps them in making their decisions. Business outreach, 6 town hall meetings. We've attended all of the City of Surrey committee meetings. We've attended many community association meetings, business association meetings, and engaged with community leaders to help them, equip them to be able to speak with others and again spread the information more widely. So you're familiar with the Better Transit and Transportation Coalition. There's now more than 120 organizations that have joined in with that, and they're from all walks of life, from business associations, from businesses to environmental groups, health organizations. So it spans the spectrum, again, which exemplifies the strength of the plan and the value to the region of this going forward and being successful. For us in Surrey, the Downtown Surrey BIA and the Surrey Board of Trade have taken on a leadership role. They've organized a number of business meetings and been active in the city trying to get the message out. The coalition also has an active online campaign, and they have a a website where you can pledge your yes support at www.bettertransit.info. They also have a series of YouTube videos. So they are, again, very helpful to the effort. Central Campaign, I kind of mentioned, for us, they are doing a lot of support for us financially and with information in terms of helping to get the message out. They've been providing the manpower for the street teams who are doing both out in the community at SkyTrain stations, bus stops, but they're also going to be doing door knocking to get right into the heart of areas where they may not vote otherwise. They've also been helping in terms of financially with the print TV ads and other things that we have been putting out. So I haven't got mine yet, but hopefully some of you have received your voting package. I believe by now about 900,000 of them should have gone out, so I expect mine any time. Election BC, of course, is organizing this part of it, and the ballots will go out until March 27th, end of this week. They will be on April 1st giving us a report in terms of number of ballots received. Unfortunately, we won't have any results till all of the balloting is complete and it has closed. And we expect probably the end of June is when we would actually get results. Elections BC is also working on plebiscite service offices, but those will not open until April 13th. So we're still working with them to try to get locations set up in Surrey. So moving forward, I guess typically 80% of the people will vote in the first 2 weeks. I think obviously for us, as ballots are still going out and the fact that there's still a lot of education going on, we haven't had the long lead up of many other referendums like this elsewhere in North America, so it may take a little longer here. So we do intend to continue to put out effort. There'll be additional telephone town halls with mayor and council members. We'll be continuing to target stakeholders, engagement and outreach. The Saki Parade will be a big one, April 18th. So expect over 120,000 people at that event. Party for the Planet on April 25th, and Cloverdale Rodeo May 15th to 18th. We'll also be continuing to work with the Coalition and Central Campaign. We may do further efforts at the mall. And then in the final few weeks, we'll probably ramp up efforts again a bit more to ensure any last people that may not otherwise vote do in fact get out and vote, and hopefully, ideally, vote yes. So that's it.
Thank you. Councillor Villeneuve?
Thank you. Well, I really find it remarkable the amount of work that's been done by council and staff and people that we're working with, different organizations. It's been a very interesting campaign, and some of the videos on YouTube have been fabulous with the young people. So really congratulate you for that. I guess that what I'm going to try to determine is that if people don't have a mailbox handy where they can drop off their ballot, if we're going to be making that information known. If people don't receive a ballot, my husband received his, I didn't receive it, it was the same address, so that started making me nervous. So I think we need to let people know where they can get a ballot if they don't receive it. I'm not sure how that procedure will work, but I think that information will be important to get out for people so that they do, if they want to be able to vote, know how to do that. And the other thing I'd like to say is that in my conversations with people, I found it a bit effective to use languaging that this isn't a tax, but it's actually a contribution to our children's future and our grandchildren's future. And it's amazing how that language change sort of softens the discussion. So maybe possibly in some of the advertising we could look at that kind of languaging, because really it is a contribution for people's preservation of the environment, their quality of life and their good health in the future. And so sometimes there are taxes for many different things, but this really is a contribution, and many people want to find a way that they can contribute to a better future. So just a suggestion.
Thank you very much. That's a good idea.
Thank you. Councillor Martin?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I want to thank you and all of the staff that is working incredibly hard for this yes vote. My husband and I have both voted, and in the mailbox.
Great.
And as Councillor Villeneuve pointed out, maybe the language around it's 35 cents a day extra. So it's not really, and it's a contribution to our future and our children's future. So it's a very good point. So thank you for all your hard work, and let's get this vote through.
Thank you.
And Mayor Hepner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Jamie, I just want to say how proud I am of all of the advocacy work that you and the City of Surrey team has put into this. It's been an enormous effort, and you guys are doing just a fabulous job. I do have a town hall this week, tomorrow night as a matter of fact, and as well, I'm on the Harpreet Singh show this week, so we're continuing that momentum around a yes vote. One of the things I think that people don't understand is even the existing SkyTrain model will get 200 and some new cars, which means SkyTrain in the Expo line to Surrey will still be advantaged in terms of better service there as well. So there are a lot of elements in the plan that I'm not sure everyone still clearly understands. And one of the messages that I've been delivering as well is that this 0.5% increase is actually going to all of the tourist industry. So there are millions and millions of dollars of contribution that will be outside of just the general regional contribution of our residents. It will also affect those that visit our communities, and so it's really the most fair and the most equitable way that we could be funding this increased model of efficiency throughout the region. So I think that gets lost on people, that it's not coming out of just the residents, it's also affecting the tourist industry, and the tourist spends hundreds of millions of dollars. So we'll get a good share of that as well through this process. But I want to thank you very much for the work that you've been doing, because I think that our advocacy efforts have been yeoman, and appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Gill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I just want to make a real quick comment, and I've been saying this to everyone, it's our turn. Simply, we've been waiting 20 years. 45% of the investments are coming to Surrey. And one other thing that's really important to really articulate, it's not about TransLink, it's not about how TransLink's operated. And one question that many people have asked me that I have not been able to respond to or give an answer to is they ask me what our property values are going to go up by a single-family residential home, and I'm still not able to suggest anything, but I do suggest that there is going to be some increases in our community in terms of our values, in terms of our properties given this investment. And I think that people should understand that this is such a significant investment that certainly there's going to be other benefits associated other than paying an extra 0.5%. So if we could get some context to that, I'd appreciate it, because I really would like to be able to articulate that out in the community.
Thank you. And I just want to thank you from the Chair for all the support that the staff has been giving all the way through. I did a lot of events in the last couple of weeks, and certainly staff has been there doing yeoman's job, getting out at all the meetings, doing town halls, everything they can do to help and to get the word out. And I have to say that I'm talking to more and more people that are actually willing to talk and willing to listen and see the benefits that we've been trying to get out. So thank you to all of you, and we just have to carry on a few more weeks, and I have my ballot, and it is in the mail. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
So move adjournment.